And now, back to Talon Talk on AFN the Eagle, serving America's best.
Well, as far as I can tell, things seem to be running pretty smoothly now, so we appreciate your patience listening as our diligent listener. This is AFN Osan, the Eagle. I'm Army Sergeant Aaron Loy. It's Wednesday, January 28th. Hope your hump day is going well. Hopefully we can get you over that hump with another fun edition of Talon Talk. Joining me in the studio, if you missed me at the top of the hour, Army Captain Jessica Meyer, Army Lieutenant Amanda O'Leary. Whether your name's Irish or not, or Scottish or not, I'll probably talk in that voice the entire segment, so I do apologize. Please don't be offended.
That's all right.
Okay, good. But I appreciate you both being here in the studio. We're kind of kicking off the hour with where you work, ma'am, and it's kind of what we want to get back into. So we're talking about the clinic specifically in this segment, and as many service members know, PT-wise, sick-wise, not feeling well, under the weather-wise, might be different at different installations. So for someone listening right now pertaining to the clinic, making an appointment, how does that work?
So for soldiers to make an appointment, they're going to want to call into the centralized appointment line.
Okay.
That line opens at 0800 every day, and I recommend to get a same-day appointment that you call at 0800 or very shortly after, because those appointments do fill up. So they'll call the 737-CARE or 737-2273. Choose option 2 for outlying medical clinics, option 3 for Camp Humphreys, and then option 1 for centralized appointment desk.
And what's the earliest time they could call?
08 is the earliest time.
Okay, so there's no standard sick call, is that my understanding?
We've actually moved to what's called the soldier-centered care. So that's basically where they're going to be meeting with their provider more at the TMC rather than at battalion aid stations. The Army's kind of going away from battalion aid stations and more into the troop medical clinic. So
is it safe to say that that stuff, like you were saying, fills up really quickly, so if you kind of drop the ball and drag your feet and you try to call in a little bit later, there's no guarantee you're going to get a spot?
Not necessarily. If you call after 1100 hours, that you can get any types of appointments that are available for the rest of that day. And what they try and do is schedule you with your PCM or your primary care manager, which is usually your battalion's doc. If you absolutely need to be seen that day, though, if you call the appointment line, let them know your symptoms and your situation, they can try and get you in with a doctor that day.
So worst case scenario is make that call, is what you're saying?
Yes.
That makes sense. I've been very blessed so far. I've been over a year and a half, and I have to knock on wood when I say this. I have yet to have to go to any type of sick call or make any appointment. Now that I've said that, I'm probably going to get crazy sick, right?
Of course. No apocalypse.
No apocalypse, right? Yeah, you guys been watching that in the news, by the way, with kind of like 3 feet of snow they're getting up in the northeastern part of the U.S.?
Yes.
The Fort Drum.
Yeah, up to 3 feet of snow, and I think one part I want to say was Philadelphia or somewhere around there. There was a meteorologist that was apologizing to the public because they didn't get as much snow as he forecasted. He came out and apologized and went on like his Twitter and everything. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy, but I digress too much. But again, 737-CARE, that's 2273. They want to go to option 2, which is outlying medical clinics. Option 3, Camp Humphreys. Option 1 for medical appointments.
Yes.
And it's really that easy.
Yep.
Well, cool. That was easier than I expected. I very much appreciate that. So we're going to take our second break effectively. Now that everything's up and running, we appreciate you being patient with us. But more Talon Talk on the way. We'll be back in 90 seconds with your weather. Welcome back, friendo. It is 2:26 right now. 34 degrees. It's definitely warmer than what it was earlier, I must say. When I went to work this morning, it was like 19 degrees, something crazy cold. But I guess we can't really complain because we're not in the midst of that snowpocalypse we were talking about just a few minutes ago. But for tonight, it's going to be cold. Not as cold as last night. Lows of low 20s moving into your Thursday. Warmer. Should be a nice one. 41 over cast skies. If you want to get some money, some moolah, or some cash, your current exchange rate.
The DoD Community Bank exchange rate is $1 is equal to 1,055 Korean won.
And what about our fuel prices?
For your exchange fuel prices today, for unleaded, we'll get you $2.19. Premium is $2.60, and diesel is $3.06.
I very much appreciate that, Army Captain Jessica Meyer, Army Lieutenant Amanda O'Leary. I know it's annoying. You gotta go with it. I'm a DJ and they give me a microphone, so I'm weird. So I appreciate you listening. This is Talon Talk, and more on the way. After some music, we'll be talking about some more clinic stuff. So if that pertains to you, definitely stay tuned to more Talon Talk. But first, it's Cassie. What's that you said? You really want more Talon Talk? Well, then I'm happy to oblige. We got more on the agenda right now. It's 2:34. My name is Army Sergeant Aaron Loy, and I got two very cool guests in the studio with me. One that I'm familiar with, Army Captain Jessica Meyer. One not so much, but slowly but surely, Army Lieutenant Amanda O'Leary. I appreciate you both being here, and ma'am, you're one of the newer ones, and we really want to kind of hone in on what it is that you do, and you work at the clinic there, and lots of changes going down at the top of the hour. If you just joined us, sick call-wise, rather than holding maybe your traditional sick call, maybe to just kind of recap, you want to call, and that's 737-CARE or 2273, correct?
Yes.
Cool. But outside of that, are there many other changes coming up as well? Just one big one? Well, what do you guys got?
Some of the big changes that have come down is that the hours now are 09 to 1600. If you have an emergency after hours, you can call 911, or you can be taken to the nearest host nation hospital if you need to be seen that evening and cannot wait until the next day.
Sure.
Other changes or things that I guess have been going on but not a lot of people know about. Active duty and command-sponsored patients are able to call at 08 for appointments. If you have family here that is non-command sponsored, you have to call at 1100 and get the space available appointments.
So pretty simple. The kind of takeaway there is 9 to 4. After hours 911, we all know that one. If you're off installation, I guess that's a good question in terms of the 911. Do you guys know off the top of your head in terms of like prefix number or anything like that, like on a cell phone?
If you're off installation, it's the 119, and again, just keep in mind that it is limited English.
Sure. But it's good to know. It's better to kind of know that before, the stuff hits the fan. But again, 9 to 4, emergency line, or of course the nearest host nation hospital, and you said active duty and command sponsored, we're able to call it 08. So kind of log that away, and then family members, non-command sponsored, 11 o'clock, space available.
That's correct.
So pretty self-explanatory there. If you have any questions at all, pretty good person to ask that question to in the studio. You can call us, 78-EAGLE-783-2453. If you have a cell phone, 0505-783-2453. We got more music on the way just for you. We come back, we're going to talk about Marley, correct?
That's correct.
Your brand new dog, Marley. So I'm excited to talk about that. Don't go anywhere. If you do, at least keep on listening. But again, any questions you have at all, medical-wise, ask us a really tough, doctor question, because she really wants to answer it.
And she can totally do it.
Yeah, she can totally do it. She's like, no, why are you throwing me under the bus right now? Give us a call, 78-EAGLE-783-2453.
And now, back to Talon Talk on AFN the Eagle, serving America's best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer Man. This is Talon Talk. My name is Army Sergeant Aaron Loy. It is 2:46 on this Wednesday, January 28th, and very much appreciate my guests being in the studio with me, Army Captain Jessica Meyer, Army Lieutenant Amanda O'Leary. I appreciate you being in the studio, and it's pretty much, ma'am, kind of your show, this segment anyway. We're talking about all sorts of things to do with the clinic. Phone number-wise, I want to make sure I push that out, 737-CARE or 2273. Has to do with appointments at the clinic. Not your really traditional sick call, just make sure you can remember that, 737-CARE. And then also in the second segment, if you missed it, another big change really is hours, kind of changing and shifting. 9 to 4 effectively after hours, please call 911. Worst case scenario, take to the nearest host nation hospital. And then kind of little stipulations on that one. 0800, active duty, command sponsored, family members, non-command sponsored, 11 in the morning. But let's break it down a little bit. Talking all business and numbers, and let's talk about a special dog. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Second to none.
Second to none. We didn't do it in the second segment, did we?
We did not. So we'll have to make it up this segment.
Okay, so at the end of this segment, we have to say second to none again, so that we have our three. But if you missed the top of the show, we kind of plugged it a little bit. But, ma'am, you have a somewhat new puppy dog. Is that correct? Named?
Marley.
And for someone who missed the show, you want to maybe just give a little backstory again?
Yeah, so I used to volunteer at an animal shelter when I first came here, and I just saw a lot of the conditions that the dogs were in, and I was fortunate enough to have the resources and the capacity to care for a dog, so I went ahead and adopted him, got him all certified, shots and everything.
Welcome back. It is 2:53 right now. Very comfortable 35 degrees. Not so comfortable this morning in the mid to upper teens, but should be a little warmer this evening, around 23, partly cloudy. Moving into your Thursday, overcast skies, 40 degrees. If you want to trade in those presidential flashcards and get some Korean money Instead, we have your exchange rate currently.
The DoD Community Bank exchange rate is $1 equals 1,055 Korean won.
That is Army Lieutenant Amanda O'Leary. I appreciate you being here as we wrap up the show. Army Captain Jessica Meyer with our fuel prices.
If you need to gas up your vehicle, unleaded will be $2.19. Premium is $2.60, and diesel is $3.06.
Too easy, Drill Sergeant, too easy. And that pretty much wraps up our show for Talon Talk. I know it kind of got off to a slightly rough start because we had kind of issues technically and blah, blah, blah. It's not an excuse. I promise it legit happened, but we made do. We completed the mission. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of Talon Talk. And as we say bye-bye, any shout-outs we want to do before we bid people adieu?
I would just say Liz Joffrin from American Red Cross for really helping make this program happen, Sergeant First Class Harrison from Charlie Company 3-2 for getting me linked up with her, and Sergeant First Class Welker from the DFAC.
I have a big one. 2-2 and 3-2 actually won the U.S. Army Photo of the Year. It was Chris Bowden. He has now left the Korean Peninsula, but he submitted that picture and won the U.S. Army Photo of the Year. We beat out the 82nd and the 101st, so it's not like it's a big deal or anything.
No,
like,
not at all,
nothing
right?
like second to none or anything like that.
Second to none. I see what you did there.
Yeah. So
what was the photo of?
It was 2-2 and 3-2. We had like Blackhawks, and they were all kind of in some formation, and it was pretty epic.
I just picture like them like flying by within inches of one another, and they're all like hanging like monkeys.
That's exactly what it was.
Wow.
Exactly.
Totally dangerous, totally against regs, but you won the prize.
Exactly. Beat out the 82nd, 101st, so
totally,
second to none.
Totally worth it.
And then the last shout out is to all those soldiers in the Talon Brigade playing basketball, and we'll finish out the basketball tournament this Friday. Along with Talon 6 and Talon 7 and the command teams getting out playing basketball on Friday. So if the soldiers out there need anything to do on Friday, go check out the basketball tournament on Friday.
There you go. I very much appreciate you coming on the show. This is Talon Talk, a great edition of one. So thank you both for coming on the air. Let's get back into the music to wrap up the show. But more Talon Talk next week, 2 in the afternoon for your Wednesday. Right now, this is Matt Wirtz.